Yo, people, how you guys doing? Welcome to KH No Filter Football. Today we got a special effing show for you guys. But first, I'm gonna introduce the panel. Andrew, how you feeling?
Yeah, all good, bro. All good. Got a fresh trim. No one noticed in the backstage or said anything. You bastards.
Notice we got caught up in different conversation.
What a trim, Andrew.
Yeah,
What a
I
trim.
know, right? Feel good, baby.
Much better than my
I'm
trim
good,
right
man.
now.
I'm good. I'm all good. I'm fresh.
And Andrew just walks on the street and just girls ask him to sit on his face. That's how fresh his trim is.
Fresh in the tampon.
How do you know what I do on Sundays?
Marshall, how you feeling, bro?
I'm doing all right, man. Not as good as Andrew because I don't have the fresh trim, but
Yeah.
I'm the old used tampon right now. That's what I am.
Oh, Jesus.
With my
Right.
fucking my haircut right now.
Of
Of course. But I'm doing all right, guys. Excited for this debate.
Chris, how you feeling, my man?
I'm all good. Good after hearing the good news today.
Good news. Which good news?
Yeah, Haaland's coming to Chelsea.
Oh my God, man. Where did you hear that? On Johnny's Twitter page, man?
Nah,
Jesus.
they already replaced him with Marlon.
WWC, man.
Bro, I am a WWC. Jesus Christ, man. That guy, man. Anyway. Move. I don't want to ruin the little relationship I have with YouTubers. Anyway. So, today we're gonna talk about Pulisic, your countryman, Marshall. What do you feel about this season? Do you feel you had a good season, a crappy season, or what do you think?
So for me, from an American perspective, one, I'll say like right off the bat, it is really exciting to see like an American play at, for one, my favorite team, and two, one of the best teams in Europe, and for him to have such a huge impact in Europe, be the first American to win a Champions League, and the first American to even get that far in general, that to me is very impressive, and I really like it. But when I look at him as a player, when you look at the highlights, and Kai, more than anything, and this is part of the reasons you love him, is that he has these brilliant moments, and he's a very, very good player. On his day, he's a good player.
Yeah.
When he plays for the U.S. men's national team, he's good. He's he's there. He makes an impact and stuff. But I got to say it like it is, American, Peruvian, Belgium, wherever country you're from. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is what you do on the pitch and how often you do it, how consistently you can do it. And my issue with Pulisic this season has been two things, really. The first thing being the injuries. Back to back. Like it's almost like we have like a Hazard Jr. You know what I mean? Like this guy was supposed to come in and fill in Hazard's shoes. Well, he filled it in one way, gets injured all the time. But the other aspect that makes me mad about his style of play is that I guess it's kind of a mixture of the fan base too. That the fan base gets on Ziyech for being wasteful on the ball, making those risky passes and all that stuff that don't work out and getting dispossessed. But that same fan base, I don't hear that same banter or that same judgment or negative comments about Pulisic when he constantly tries to dribble, which that's part of his game. Fine, that's fair. Sometimes you shouldn't always be trying to dribble, though. Sometimes Pulisic dribbles when he should be passing, and we be having better opportunities in some games, more opportunities, because we do create a lot of chances. And sometimes that frustrates me about Pulisic. And I understand that's part of a dribbler's game, taking those risks, not getting those dribbles to come off, but sometimes it's too much, and I think you guys can see where I'm coming from with that. But yeah, that's what I think of Pulisic this season, at least.
Yeah, I mean, for me, everybody knows I like Pulisic. I think on his day he's our best winger, and I think the issue with him is he's always injured, man. He's as reliable as a Kante with a hole, man. He's always injured, so you can't really rely on him in the big games, which is kind of scary for because we had Hazard for so long and he was barely injured, I mean, take him to don't just ignore the fact that he's always injured at Real Madrid. When he was at Chelsea, he was he had one injury that was kind of serious, but other than that, he was all good. And then you have Pulisic, who, because of the level, he is so much he has such higher ceiling than both Cho and Ziyech for me. I think that leads to him getting scapegoated a lot. He gets a lot of hate from a lot of people, Charlotte. But I think he's a very talented player. It's just kind of sad that he never actually had that preseason, a full preseason, and he actually had to play, actually play a whole season without an injuries, because the guy is made out of soggy biscuits. But if he can make it next season, he can play more than he can. I think there's a player there, because that goal against Real Madrid is not an easy goal to score.
No.
Average wingers don't score that kind of goals. The composure it takes, the technique, the ball control. He's a special talent, but the issue with him, he's just his bones are made out of cardboard. I don't know what to say about him. But Andrew, what are your thoughts about Puri?
Well, just test the mic volume up.
Can't hear him.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
We can hear you.
Cool. So I want to make this. First of all the links are in the descriptions below. If you want to super chat, please do so. Donate to the channel. I want to make this clear. I don't want this debate to be comparing him to any other winger, stuff like that. So we get into then a petty chose better, it's why I think this is. I think Pulisic, I believe this is a massive season for Pulisic coming up.
Yeah.
I know the skill and the quality is there. We've seen it in glimpses. I believe if he has another injury-ravaged season again, wouldn't be obliged for us to look into sell him next summer, because as talented as he is, his injury record is not good, and I feel we have some of the best medical staff, treatments in any football, because we don't really have a lot of long-term injuries or anything like that. I just feel if he doesn't have I'm not talking about little niggling injuries that run him out for a couple of weeks or anything like that, or it depends on how many he gets. I'm talking about long term. I would consider, no matter how much he brings in from the American markets and everything like that, I would think it'd be a mistake to keep him on, because he's just taking up a space, essentially. But he's got it in him. If we see anything like his 2020 after the first lockdown form, that's great, and not his stinky form at the end of the season where he was rubbish at the end of the season. I know he scored against Real Madrid, but the games after that, I thought he was very lucky to keep starting in games. And even coming on in the Champions League final, I thought his form didn't warrant it at all. But like I said, I hopefully gets over his injuries, because if he does, we've got a serious player on our hands. Do you know what I mean? Serious weapon.
But
I just hope it clicks. But
that's if is a big if, man. You know the saying, if my grandma had wheels, she'd be a transformer, man. Yeah. So
it's normally you normally say bike, but you got to understand say transformer.
His injuries are kind of reoccurring, which is kind of worrying. But for me, if he has another big injury, I would either way. I think we need to upgrade on our wingers. I just don't think any of them are Hazard level. Pulisic on his day can be very good, but other than that, I don't know. What do you feel, Chris? What's your thoughts?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say something quickly about the injuries. I haven't seen any really serious injuries under Tuchel. Really, I think Tuchel's actually managed him pretty well. But I was gonna say what I do like about Pulisic a lot. He's a big game player. He knows how to perform in big games, and I think he has got that mentality for a young age to perform in a big game when he's needed and if he's fit. And another thing I do like about him when I do watch him is he can take on players. He can take on 1, 2, or 3. Sometimes he did it against Liverpool as well. He took on 3 players and gave Tammy Abraham an easy tap-in, as I remember.
Yeah, so that was his great form.
He's a very brave, very brave player, on the wing, to have, deadly, fearless, and he's just got all that potential. And I do agree with a lot of what you said. It's just one thing what does hold him back is the injuries, of course. So if he does sort that out, I think we do have a very, very good player on our hands. And it'd be a shame, like, if it doesn't work out with him, because I think the whole world can see how good he is. Like, it's not just our team. Look and see how good he is.
Do you remember the Chris? Do you remember the Porto second leg game? It wasn't a great game, but do you remember how many times he got kicked around and crunched? And I actually thought at the time that was maybe, and he wasn't taken up. I maybe thought that was maybe some tough love for Thomas Tuchel to actually see whether he can take this abuse, because he was getting abused in that game, man. He was getting crunched. I mean,
I remember the Sheffield game too.
Yeah, lucky there was no red cards or anything like that. And maybe that he's trying to toughen him up, and maybe that's what he feels like it. But I mean, we know this isn't a game. We all rate Pulisic here on his skill and his potential. We all know it's there. This is more a concern about, like he's put in the thumbnail, is he going to become a liability?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm not like one of the Pulisic critics that the thing I disagree with the Pulisic critics were that people want him out this transfer window. And I think that was a little too harsh, if you ask me, simply because, we understand he's injury prone, but like Chris mentioned, during Tuchel's reign, it kind of backed down a little bit. He wasn't nearly as injury prone. I think Tuchel's managing him better. He did go into a little bit of a dip in form towards the end of the season after that Real Madrid game. But like I said, I'm not like a critic of Pulisic where I want him out this season. I'll give him another season. But if this season, let's say he keeps continuing to get injured, or he doesn't perform to the standard that we want him to perform, keeps getting dispossessed, it's not fitting of Tuchel's system, then maybe it's time we count our losses and we maybe sell him to another club, get some money out of that, and then get someone else. It also really depends on the rest of the wingers and how they perform. I fully believe that, like Kai said, on his day, Pulisic is our best winger. I think he is an amazing talent. He has really probably the best dribbling ability of anyone in the team. Maybe you could argue Kovacic is better, but that in those tight situations, like Chris said, like those important games, he can score you a goal. And that's something too that of all our wingers, I think he's the one that scored the most goals this season. He's a goal scorer. And that's important because we need goal scorers in this team. We don't have one right now. And even if we do get one, it would be nice to have one that does score goals, and then to get a winger that also scores goals, and that could improve from bringing in someone that can score goals. So Pulisic is important, but it all depends on his injuries. If he needs to be more confident on himself, either he needs to find like a physical therapist or someone that can work on him, like when he's not with Chelsea, that can help him improve his ligaments or his muscle strength or whatever he needs to improve on, so he doesn't get injury. Because that, I think, as any sports player with any career, you have to take care of your body. Look at Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva, at his age right now, is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But why is he fantastic? Because you hear the people sell the stories that he's always at the gym, he's always stretching, he's doing yoga, he's working on his body. Cristiano Ronaldo is the same way, always working on his body, preparing, making sure he doesn't get injured. And if he does get injured, it's maybe once a season. Well, we were missing Thiago Silva for a month, maybe at most this season, and he's a lot older than Pulisic. It's more than that, I think.
Was it more than that? I don't know.
I think it might be 2 months actually.
I was gonna say, like, as well, you said like he's important for the big games as well, like because he can score assists. I think as well, like if you look at the Porto game, that was a very important game he played because he's our best player, and he's one of the reasons why we only lost at 1-0, because he kept getting fouled, he kept holding the ball really good. He wasted time in a good way for Chelsea and just kept moving it across. And it's unlucky he didn't get a goal in that game actually. As I remember, he was so close to scoring. So it's just stuff like that as well, in his dribbling abilities.
And another thing I wanted to mention too is that look, all of us here, and some of you guys in the chat already know, Kai's not happy we don't have Jadon Sancho, right? We don't have that left winger. As of right now,
And we have Tesco value, Joe, Sancho.
As of right now, based off of last season, Cho isn't ready to be that dominant left winger. The best shot we have at that is a fit Pulisic. He is our best left winger.
Yeah.
And if he stays fit, he can be better, if not equal to the level of Sancho.
Yeah.
So that is super important, especially the left wing, because the right wing, that's still a debate. You can, Kai Havertz can play there. Most likely you're going to have a Callum Hudson-Odoi or a Ziyech there. Like those players are going to play that position and they can play it decently well. But the best left winger we have is Pulisic. You could put Callum there, but I don't know. When you put Callum there and then you put Pulisic there, Pulisic has been the better performer from what we know of last season.
But we all know that in some contexts, this is also true. We have Pulisic because he's the most famous USA, but that helps his way, brings in a lot of money.
Yeah.
But when does the club then balance that and go?
Yeah, but
we get a lot of money, but he's not even on the fucking pitch.
Yeah, but do you think actually that Thomas Tuchel actually cares about that, man?
No,
I'm not that type of guy.
Tuchel cares. I'm talking about the club as a whole.
Yeah.
How much money? How much money do they want when they actually go? Yeah, but they actually go. It's great. He's brought us in. We sold a lot of tops in USA with Pulisic on the back. We've never seen him on the fucking pitch. Do you know what I mean?
It's crazy.
It's like we haven't seen him. I mean, how many games do you reckon he's played? He can't have played more than 50, right?
Yeah.
In total,
played a decent amount.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think Tuchel plays him because we don't have that many option of like natural wingers in our team.
He's familiar with him too already. He's played with him think about it this way too. He's a new manager. He's going to play players he's familiar with. And remember when he came in, he was saying like, I played the players that I played based off of their experience. So he played Jorginho. He played, did he play Kante at the time? Maybe he played Kovacic in the pivot. Yeah, I remember Kovacic and Jorginho because their experience. He put Aspi back in. He put Marcus Alonso back in. All the experienced players. So when you're like a new manager still getting to know your team, you're going to be playing players that and you're familiar with. He didn't play, Pulisic that first game, but he started playing him more often because he's comfortable with him. But you know what, guys? Like, I know you guys always said that, like, he brings in a lot of the American market.
Yeah.
Until I started watching the Prem and watching, sports in general, just like here in the States, I didn't realize how big of a deal he was. Like he's in like a lot of commercials here and everything because he's like like I said, he's the first American that won a Champions League. He's like a very successful athlete here. He's in commercials with LeBron and like Serena Williams. He's like the poster boy here for football. It's crazy.
He's already captain of his country.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of commercials for Nike, Gatorade, and all these things. Like they're marketing off of him a lot. So like he is a big part of a big chunk of income coming to Chelsea is that American market.
Can I ask a question about that? Do you think one of the reasons why we signed Pulisic, obviously he's a talent, but one of the other reasons why we spent a lot on him is because how much money you can attract from the American side to Chelsea? I'm not sure like if that's a reason or I think it could be one of the reasons why we bought him as well.
Yeah, but
and maybe why we might keep him.
Yeah, but that's normal. That's like marketing is a big part of football, Like look at Pogba, United and all that stuff, Like you need them to, that commercial revenue as well for Chelsea. So I do understand. And also he's not half decent bad as people make him to be, Like he should focus on making less shitty TikToks and more time at the gym, so he's less injury prone. Which hopefully he will do.
Sure.
But that's his first preseason that he gets. People forget that he doesn't have a preseason. Like that's the first full preseason he had with Chelsea. So let's see where it goes.
Because he came in January, right?
Yeah, but let's see. We loaned him back.
Yeah.
I remember him coming in. I remember him coming in early under Frank Lampard. He came in like he had like a week off or something after the international. And he came in 19 early.
Well, that's what he said. That it's the first time that he actually had a preseason with Chelsea. So I don't know. That's his words, not mine.
That might make a huge difference because that's what a lot of teams have been saying that not having that preseason is a big big factor. This season in general is a weird season when you think about it. Like with the whole pandemic and everything was more compact. The managers didn't get enough time to train the players the way they wanted to train them. Like, what was it? It was one day they were interviewing Timo, and they were talking about, Timo's striking and all that stuff and practice and such. And he would say, like, yeah, we don't practice shooting. We don't really have time to practice anything at all. We just usually get ready for the next game. Once one game is over, we rest, and we get the next training. We're getting ready for the next game, and then
Wait. Was that under Lampard though? Was that under Lampard?
No, it was under Tuchel.
Under Tuchel, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, but also like one thing that kind of triggers me is like that Pulisic is the enemy of Cho. Like the reason Cho doesn't play is because of Pulisic, which isn't the case whatsoever. It's actually more like Ziyech is the one who's taking Pulisic's position. Who's taking Cho's position. So people need to stop like having agendas against our own players.
Well,
like,
I don't
put
like
them
that
against each other's.
I don't like that excuse either, though, Kai. Because like, okay, you're blaming a player for playing over someone that you want to play, but doesn't that just mean that either the manager doesn't rate the player you want to play, or that player just isn't as good or bringing to the table what the manager wants? Like, and don't get me wrong, like I would like to see, like if Pulisic were to get injured, I don't want to see Timo on the left. I want to see, like, let's play Callum on the left. Let's see if left wing is his position, I want to see him play on the left wing, and I want to see him perform. And if he doesn't perform, then we have to put Timo on the left. You know what I mean? Like, these are the things that happen.
Comes of this generation of player hives.
Yeah,
that's bullshit. It's like,
but isn't it alarming to you guys?
What?
Like the fact that he can't start to save his life. Like, Joe, you can't blame Pulisic for it, because Pulisic is not the reason he doesn't play. Even when Pulisic was injured,
that's what I mean.
Joe would still not play.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. It's the problem with this generation of supporting player hives and everything like that. It's like I don't understand why you would go against another one of your players when you should want them to play well, because then your team plays well. It benefits your team. You know what I mean? It's something like it's very weird. That's why I hate these hives and everything like that, because to me that they just strike me as NBA fans that follow players to different teams that don't support the teams. It's just annoying. But the thing is that people they won't sell him and everything like that. That's fine. You could listen. They might not sell him for a couple of years, but when it comes like when people point out that he's had more injury days than games, you know what I mean, or he's only played 100 games in 4 years or something like that. It's like there's a big issue going forward. I just don't know. I just don't know if he has another long-term injury this season. I just don't know if he'll come back the next season, because it's like, that's not a Mendy hive. It's an appreciation. I don't invite people to follow it. Okay, it's just an appreciation. Okay, that's all it is.
You got a secret Mendy hive somewhere.
No, it's not a Mendy hive. I just.
Andrew's right. Andrew's right, because Mendy doesn't get the appreciation he deserves.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what it is, but he doesn't get the respect. Because for me, he has been one of our best players this season. Like for the price that we got him as well, nobody talks about.
He's probably our best signing. When you think about it, he's probably our best signing.
Bro,
he was.
I see Prime saying that we still need to upgrade on him. I don't understand how can we upgrade on like arguably the goalkeeper of the tournament for the Champions League.
It's the best goal in. For me, it's the best goal in.
You know when Mendy first came in, even for a few weeks, and I still watch him. I still wanted Oblak, but I got proven wrong.
Yeah, and you're a goalkeeper. That's going to be a lot coming from someone who.
For me, what Willian can't play with his feet, but he actually is very good with his feet now too as well. Like he improved in how he plays with his feet.
He's improved,
Back to Pulisic.
With Pulisic. With Pulisic, though, what I wanted to ask you guys is, people look at his stats, and what Slendz likes to say all the time is that there's always context to it. Even for the stats that he's put up, even for the stats that he's put up so far this season, it's actually not that bad when you take into context the fact that How many times you guys remember this in the early part of the season? How many times were we complaining?
Yeah.
Why the fuck is Pulisic playing on the right and Timo on the left? You remember
Yeah.
how often we had to have that discussion under Lampard? And even sometimes there's like 1 or 2 games under Tuchel where that happened too. Which, by the way, that's another thing that kind of bothers me about Pulisic. Unlike Callum, who can play on the left wing and the right wing, Pulisic it disappears when he's on the right. That's another aspect of his game he needs to improve if he's going to stay in this club or be successful as a winger, just period. But that's something that there were so many games under Lampard that he played and he had to play on the right because they had to put Timo on the left because Timo just worked better on the left, even though Timo wasn't working regardless. And that hurts his stats when you think about it, the amount of play time that he got and wasn't able to do anything because he's not his preferred wing. And all of us who aren't managers could see it. All of us who aren't managers as fans watching this could see that. And once you're putting him on the left, you saw the better impact he made. And the other thing being that even in our worst of time, and I still stick to this, even when we were playing like shit in December and into January, Pulisic was one of the better players. But because he was just surrounded by so much bad form, everyone was doing bad. Tammy wasn't doing shit. Werner was at the worst he ever was the whole season. Because the attacking third wasn't firing whatsoever, even under Lampard when we were firing at our best when it comes to attack, he was our best player. He just couldn't pull things off. And I don't know what you guys think about that.
No, I agree. There's 2 forms I've seen of Christian Pulisic. It's that one where the lockdown actually was fortunate for Christian Pulisic because if you remember before the lockdown, he was out injured. He was going to be out for a long time. And he came back and then obviously we had the lockdown and he came back and he played very well. Got injured in the FA Cup final. Okay, that happens. Came back, did okay. Had a sort of bit part even under Tuchel. Scored a couple of goals for the great one against Real Madrid. And then after the Madrid game, every game he was involved in, whether he started or subbed, he was shit. Okay, absolutely shit. Had no impact. I know when you say that, why don't we play him on the left and not the right? I'm hesitant to give such excuses to what should be top players. You know, especially when it's on the natural side, on the right hand side as well. It's like, you know what? That's not. Do you know what? If you want to be rated like a top quality player, then I should be able to put you on. The manager should be able to put you on any side, and you have a great impact. You know what I mean? It's like I'm just I was waiting for him to explode. And it just never happened. And then I can understand when people then going, well, he's giving Pulisic a lot of time. It's like, well, why don't you maybe think of Chilwell, think of Ziyech playing there or something like that. I know he came on in the Champions League final. He had that great chance to make it 2-0.
Ziyech gave it to him.
Yeah, I thought he was lucky to come on. Sorry, lucky to even come on because his form didn't warrant it. But you know, it's up to him essentially. You know what I mean? We shouldn't have to really. We shouldn't have really struggled. Pulisic should be one of the first names on. If you think about it, all this talent, he should be one of the first names on the team sheet. But because of injury and sometimes poor form, it doesn't happen. And I'm just worried that we're going to be Pulisic's time at Chelsea. We're going to be talking more about injuries and missed chances.
The injuries than
actual his gameplay. At the moment, it's great gameplay and injuries are like that at the moment, and it's a shame. But we'll have to see going into this season because we're going to have a lot of games. So let's see what he does.
Kai, do you think that despite him playing on the right so many times this season, he still had a decent season?
I don't think it's an excuse, man. I don't think it's an excuse where he plays because he can play on both. He played like most of his career on the right as well and on the left. So I don't think it's like anything to do with the side he plays. I just think he's too injured and it takes him time to get back into form, and it's just frustrating that there is no other winger who's actually useful, you know. And other like hives can tell me, oh yeah, he just needs a chance, blah blah blah. But a lot of the time when Cho's been given a chance, he wasn't that impressive. And then when you have Havertz as well, Havertz hasn't been really good on the wing. So for me, I've said it once and I said it 1,000 times. Chelsea needs a winger because I don't see any of these guys like replacing Hazard, either because of injuries or because of age or experience or blah blah blah. So we did need that world-class winger. And you know what? If we don't get that and we get Haaland, I'll still be happy because I know that it will improve.
Is it colour?
With
Um,
Haaland in the team, but
Freaking Kai's got that Transylvania Wi-Fi.
I don't know. I'm worried going to the next season with the same attack we had, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think?
What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I do agree with Kai. Like, I think we do probably need another winger because obviously Pulisic, he's injured a lot.
But I don't know why, man.
Yeah, like, and we have Ziyech who can get injured, and I don't know where Ziyech is going to end up in a year or something, or a year or two. And then we've got Hudson-Odoi, who's not really put his foot into Chelsea yet properly. Like, he hasn't really, like, earned his first place completely yet. Like, he hasn't, like said, okay, I'm a first-team player yet. He isn't exactly there yet. So I think we do need another winger. And the thing of Pulisic as well, like, I think he does, if he keeps getting injured this season, we need to look for another winger after when, I think we're going to get Haaland anyway this season. So I'm not worried about, like, attackers.
Would you go as far as to say that if we start the season next month, it's only what 2.5 weeks away, 2 weeks away?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Wednesday is the Super Cup.
That's so close.
There you go. It's right around the corner. If he starts off getting injured in that first month, do you think it's safe to say that January transfer window we should be looking into someone that can come in and play that winger position? A Pedro Neto. Who else is out there? I don't even know who else is out there.
Neto's a very good shout.
Yeah, he's
Kian's from Wolves as well. What's his name? Another winger. I think he's winger. Like Podence. Yeah, sorry, that's his name.
Could have had
isn't he a winger
Sancho,
as well?
man. Imagine him in blue, man. Oh man.
But like, do you think we could bought Sancho? Yeah, you need to get over Kai because we can't have Haaland and Sanchez at one season.
You're sounding like people who want Rice now. Keep mentioning Sancho. I know, you know.
Hey. Dortmund had both. You know, all I'm gonna say is Sancho is the goal that got away, man. It is what it is, man.
We only see Kai from this angle, but if he turns the camera over, you see the Sancho shrine back there with the candles, and they're all blue, and the Photoshop pictures of Jadon Sancho and Chelsea.
Every time if Kai mentions Sancho one more time, just don't move the camera downwards, please. You know what I mean?
Keep the camera waist up.
You know what I noticed about Kai actually? Every player he hypes up, he's hyped up Timo Werner, he's hyped up Kai Havertz when had a great season but had a nice ending at least. Now he's hyping up Sanchez and Varane. So I'm hoping that curse Kai has literally goes on to United as well and they have shit seasons.
It's
not a curse. Like we had Havertz and Lampard played him as a DM, man. So it's not Havertz's fault.
Yeah.
When Tuchel came in, Havertz started playing well, you know.
What about Timo Werner? You cursed him, clearly.
No, you cursed him because you keep bigging him up like he's something crazy. You blame me. It's
I defend him. I'm defending your mess. That's what I'm defending.
Oh my god! How low can you Werner stands get? By blaming other people.
Exactly. I want to ask the chat a question though, because I saw someone say right there, why didn't we get Sancho last season? Look, this season we probably could have gotten Sancho. I don't know what the deal is behind closed door. I want to ask chat. Last season, would you rather have gotten Havertz like we did this season, or would you rather gotten Sancho? Because that was where the money was going to go. It's going to go either Sancho or Haaland. We already broke our transfer window, so I don't think that we're going to try to spend more money on that, even though we're probably going to break it on the single transfer this season. Maybe, who knows? But chat, put in the chat real quick. Would you rather have had Havertz or would you rather have Sancho? Because personally, me, like, I like Havertz. I really like Havertz. He's part of the reason why I really rate this team.
Matty Cash, I think Rafinha's a good player. I'm just waiting to see if he has second season syndrome.
Oh, yeah. Rafinha would be a good shout, too.
I'm waiting to see Sancho.
We got Raheem. Raheem wanted Sancho.
Marshall, King Kai, man. Havertz.
That's three for Havertz right there.
Yeah. I'm going to say Havertz.
So, like, Even though I think that this season, if Chelsea really wanted to get Sancho, they could have. So I
believe
mean,
it.
that's not really an excuse. We could have had both, but
I believe if they
I think they
were-
really wanted Haaland.
Especially for the price that United got him, man. They got him for pretty cheap, relatively. You know?
That's
Yeah,
true. I
we
believe they
tried
were
last
going
season
for
though to
more.
get Sancho, right? And then we just
I
didn't work out a deal.
I don't think we're ever
We
in for
didn't try.
Sancho last season.
No, we never
We
went
were in
for
for with Havertz, and it was like because remember they wanted over 100 million euros for.
Oh
I
yeah,
know,
I remember that.
I know how it happened. Yeah, it's like Chelsea were like, "Hey, should we go for Sancho?" And Marina just looked into Scott, whatever the fuck his name is, and she was like, "Are you kidding? We have the chosen one. We got the force on his side." You know?
The
The
chosen one.
Yeah, the chosen one. But swinging it back to Pulisic, who's the main issue of this debate.
Yeah.
What, barring he doesn't get any injuries, what's a realistic goal tally for him this season?
So
Or even
I think
goals
10.
and assists,
10 goals. 10 goals,
Nah.
maybe 10 assists, maybe higher assists. But I think minimum for me, 10 goals from Pulisic. I think that's a good season.
is that
10 in all
yeah?
competitions or in the league? 10 in all would be quite low.
I guess in the league, 10 goals in the league, I think is a respectable number. You know, that's assuming we get a striker, and that striker is gonna soak up most of the goals. I don't know.
I would say like 12 all competitions, 12 goals and like 16 assists from Pulisic if he plays
16
enough minutes.
assists?
Yeah,
16
well,
assists.
I'm
say
gonna
one
say this.
six?
No, if he gets enough minutes like Timo Werner,
If he
yeah,
says Timo Werner, for fuck's
No,
sake, man.
no, I'm not comparing. I'm just
Timo
saying.
got 15. Timo
Yeah,
got
it's like
15.
Timo got 12 goals and 15 assists. So a winger like Pulisic, I know how good he is. I reckon he should get like 16 assists and 12 goals at least. Like the talent he has. if he
I
plays
would
enough
say.
minutes.
I would say for me, it would be like 12 to 15 goals. Would be good for Pulisic because he's a good finisher.
Yeah,
The only
he's a
thing
good
like
finisher,
he's just
Yeah,
always
yeah.
broken, man. He's always broken. Like there's always something wrong with him. He needs to stop doing those fucking stupid TikToks and do some strength training, bro. Because the guy's made out of fucking gummy bears.
He needs to stop having interviews with what was that company he had an interview with? The like a fashion company. It wasn't Gucci. It was like a
What did they call the Champions League? The championship.
Vogue. Didn't he have an interview with Vogue or something?
I don't know. Would you do? I'm expecting 15 to 18 goals in all competitions and about 10 assists. It's a good question for Matt Cash. Who I believe maybe a Villa fan, maybe a Chelsea fan, but Matt Cash is a Villa player. Would you swap Pulisic plus 20 million for Grealish?
I think I would.
You would?
I think I would. I really like Grealish. Grealish is really good, man. He gives you a lot of chances. So with Grealish, I think you sacrifice goals for a lot more assists and creativity. And personally, me, actually, you know what? It's funny, Andrew. This really depends if we get a striker. Because if we get a striker, then what's the fucking? If we don't get a striker, then what's the point of having Grealish? Because he's going to create all these chances and this is going to get nothing out of it.
One whose stats goes down.
Yeah, we'll ruin Grealish in this club.
It'll be up there with the big chances category. You know, like little chance. He's made 100 chances, but no one's tapped them in.
If we get like a decent striker, then Grealish would be. I would love Grealish. He would have great assists and great chances created. He would be a baller. He'd give up Christian and his finishing, but I don't know. I like Grealish, man.
Nah. For me, if we had Grealish, he's gonna end up with a hairline like Ivanovic, bro. From all the missed chances he's gonna create, and then not finishing.
Oh my god.
He'd get us a lot of free kicks, wouldn't he? He would get us.
He would get us a lot of free kicks. We didn't even have a free kick taker.
How much is
Mason would
Grealish?
kick it.
Well,
Like
he said,
100 million
the question was, would you swap Pulisic and 20 million for Grealish?
I would swap it because Pulisic gets injured a lot, and Grealish is
Right.
on the up. I would say he's on the up massively. Like he's 25, 26. And he's like an Eden Hazard in a way. He gets fouled a lot. You
Yeah.
can create,
That's
you
the
can
only.
score.
That's the only thing I will allow you to say that links into Eden Hazard. That's the only thing I will allow.
He also has the bubble butt as well, man.
No. Kai, man. Why do you always do this, man? You always go straight to the butt. You're total ass, man. Total ass, man.
It's just an observation, bro.
Would you do it, Kai? Shut up, C1 London, or you'll get done. All right, you'll get done. Go on, Kai. Would you talk?
Yeah, I would. I like Grealish. I think he's all right. But the only thing that's kind of worries me if Pulisic goes to another team and all of a sudden, by some fucking miracle, he's not injured anymore and he
yeah, and then bangs in 20 league goals.
you know with our luck, you know.
Yeah, I mean that seemed quite cheap, doesn't it? Pulisic and 20 million for Grealish. Seeing how Pulisic hardly played since we signed him, what, 58 million pounds or something like that. They do not play similar. They do not play similarly. Hazard and Grealish do not play like each other. Okay, Hazard can dribble like no one else you've seen. Okay, please, Grealish can't do that. Okay, Grealish can't do that.
Wasn't Hazard also a goal scorer?
And he scores he should have scored. That was my big thing with him. He should have been more selfish because he would probably score about 150 goals.
Yeah, in a team like Aston Villa.
Yeah.
You mean Hazard? Okay.
Yeah. So Hazard and Pulisic.
And Hazard won't always attack the teams.
Super chat from Michael Wilson. Don't believe we've seen you before, but thank you for joining us. Unless we switch systems, it doesn't matter that much. We don't play with wingers. Yeah, we don't play with traditional wingers. They're more like inside forwards, really. The 4-3, the 3-4-3. Yeah, they're more like inside forwards. But thanks for donating to the channel, Michael. Hope you've subscribed. Thanks for joining us. He's right. They're not
I agree
like
with
traditional
that,
wingers. They're more like inverted forwards. Now, I don't think wingers really exist anymore because of the fullbacks like to get bomb on forward. They're really a wide man. There is a train of thought that especially that he might change the 4 at the back and then do maybe the 2-2 or the 4-3-3. That do you think that might benefit Pulisic more?
I think the 4-2-2 formation would actually, if we get Haaland, it'd be very good for Chelsea as well. I think if you switch that formation, I wouldn't say go to 4-2-2 all season, but like in parts of the season, if we can do that, because you can have like Timo Werner, Pulisic on the left, Haaland on the right, and then Kai Havertz on the right side of behind Haaland, and I think that'd be a very attackive team. Well, it'd be very exciting. I think it will benefit everything attack. Like Pulisic could be involved a lot, and so would Kai and all that. So I think it would benefit the wingers like Pulisic, and Kai can play wing like on the right. So or he can play strike if Timo doesn't play either.
Yeah, the thing is though, I believe that if he does that 4-2-2-2, and I think, judging by an interview today I've seen, and I know some people might groan on this panel, I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek is staying. They interviewed him again, just like I think he's staying.
Everyone's converting. Look at me. Everyone's converting.
I think they're interviewing people they're staying, but I think when they do that 4-2-4, whatever they do,
you're all opening your eyes.
No, but is it me? Like I've seen some clip of him training. Is it me or like one leg is like longer than the other, man, because of the injury, bro? He runs weird now.
Maybe.
He's saying he's got one leg shorter than the other.
No,
that's not how it looks like. Like the way he runs. Yeah. Look
he's like that.
Well, he's gonna need one of those like frames or one of those shoes will have like a taller leg with a boots now.
Maybe.
You sound like he's like disabled or something.
Bro, he walks like Tammy Abraham.
No, but apparently, apparently, according to Slendz, I don't know if this is true. Apparently, he had to change the way he walks because of the injury.
Probably.
So
maybe, yeah.
I feel like Slendz is waffling, man. I don't know.
Listen.
He probably gets
listen, Rajan, I'm just saying. I think he's staying. They interviewed him, and I don't know why we would spend interview time with someone we're going to sell or we're going to loan out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he's going to stay. I wouldn't not starting, just part of the squad.
Yeah, he's
the
not.
next
He's going to be
interview
like
is
the fourth choice.
Yeah, that's what
He's
I mean.
going to be the new Billy Gilmore, man. That's what he's going to be.
the next interview is going to be Zapakota in Drinkwater.
No, no.
Bro, I swear to God, if Drinkwater does an interview, man, that's it, man.
But no, do you remember?
I will not
the
drink water, man. I will stop
Remember the
drinking
Malang
water.
Sarr interview? Remember the Malang Sarr interview about 10 days ago? And then there was a report saying he liked
to drink water, man. To drink water, man.
Yeah. If Drinkwater...
Oh my God, I almost died.
If Drinkwater Bakayoko get an interview, though, I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't know. If they get an interview...
Just unsubscribe. Unsubscribe.
I'm going to write the season off, I think. Man, I'm just going to go. I think I'm just going to go, no, please. I mean, if he gets... I'll tell you this now. If Tuchel gets a tune out of any of these guys, give him a 10-year contract. A 10-year, not a 10
Oh my
year,
God, please. He's a miracle worker.
Going like, you are a miracle worker. You're the greatest of all time. Screw everyone else.
We just got a new guard. That's all we got.
Good Lord.
I bet she has good ball control, man.
No, she's a goalkeeper. She's got a terrible clean sheet record. We all know that.
See won London, but maybe his decision making was poor because he had not the best. My man had Deckard over Reed as a striker. Like, what are you gonna do, man? Like, it's just not quality runs. There's no Kai Havertz you can pass it to and stuff.
Your man didn't even play for him to get like fucking even create chances for the play. He was on the bench most of it.
Look, I don't know what Scar Parker did halfway through the season. Maybe he got tired. Who knows, man? It's his first full season.
Maybe Gallagher. Listen, maybe Gallagher stays too. We don't know this, right? Because I think if we buy Haaland, I don't think we're actually going to buy anyone else.
Yeah, me neither. That's what I'm saying.
I hope to God, man. I hope to God we don't sign anybody else.
If we buy Haaland, I'm happy not to buy anyone else.
I think people get promoted and for at least like placeholders for this season. Then next season we'll go back out in the market, or maybe in January we'll go back out in the market. But I don't. If we get Haaland this summer, that's it. I don't think anything else is going to happen.
We always talked about having people in the middle so that we could, for some of the games, not all the games, we can rotate Jorginho and Kante out and have loads of options there. Like your first option is going to be Kovacic, and then for like the League Cup games or something, or the last group games of the Champions League, if we're already through, you put in a Loftus-Cheek, you put in a possible Gallagher. Do you know what I mean? It's just a throwaway game or something like that. I'm not talking about. It's just a rotator. You don't have to play all the big heads in the League Cup or even the FA Cup this season because you've got bigger games.
That's what I mean too. Like, even if a Gallagher came in for Gilmore, you treat him just like you treated Gilmore. You play him in the games where you only need him, and I'm sure Gallagher can do a job. He can be a placeholder. He's not going to like cost us games, but like you're not going to play him against like Man City. You know what I mean? Like,
let me just address this. I don't know. This channel is not like an in the know channel. It's not like
it's not the Haaland report.
It's not promising you any news stories. We react if there's any news. We don't know any reporters or anyone close to Chelsea or anything like that. If anything breaks like this week, you know, we'll I don't know what he's doing.
What is he doing?
But I tell you what, though, if you want the stories, you could send us £10 super chats and we'll charge you to hear the story. No, but no.
We'll make up one. We'll make up a story.
Yeah, we'll make. You want the story? I tell you what the story in Haaland is. He's coming to Chelsea? ? He's staying at Dortmund ?
Bro,
that's the news in Haaland.
Journalism. That's what the journalists do anyway. So it's not like
exactly. It's a guessing game. It's just a guess. You know what? Historian, this is not a channel for that. We'll react to it if he comes. That's what we're doing.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because this is now piquing my curiosity. Are
we done with Pulisic? Yeah.
No. I wanted to talk about Pulisic actually. I was gonna say, do you think part of the reason Pulisic and maybe even our wingers or inside forwards, whatever you want to call them, aside from information, do you think and I'm sorry, real quick, do you think part of the reason that their numbers went down was because we didn't have that proper striker? We had Werner, where like when Pulisic played with Giroud last season, there was that link-up play that allowed Pulisic to get himself into more scoring opportunities, allowed the wingers to get themselves into better opportunities. Do you think a large part of it is because of the type and style of striker that Timo is versus what Giroud was, or maybe a little bit of Tammy?
Chris?
No.
Oh, is it to me?
Yeah, that's why I said Chris.
You know
I'll say
what?
Chris
like,
or Kai or whoever, all of you guys.
Okay. Yeah, I do agree. Like Timo hasn't hit the numbers with goal scoring, and his link up hasn't been as consistent. Like he can have decent link up. I've seen him have good link up with Kai Havertz, and even with Ziyech, you've seen like he's had good link up and bad link up, I would say. And yeah, his goal scoring ability and shooting needs to improve for next season. And I do agree with you. Like obviously what you just said. So yeah, like I think it's one of those things with Timo Werner. And if we get Haaland, probably our link-up player would be a lot better with him, and scoring ability of Haaland would be a lot stronger. So.
I mean, that's what I mean, though. That's why I give him a little bit of slack when it comes to this season, because when you think about it, I think the wingers can only be as good as, like, the players they're playing off of, which is, like, a proper striker. Like, I'm sure, this is hypotheticals, but I'm sure if we had to be forced to play with Giroud most of the season, maybe Pulisic's numbers, Ziyech's numbers, all these wingers' numbers would have gone up when it comes to goal scoring and on all these opportunities. I don't know. What do you think, Kai? Kai?
It's got internet issues.
His internet.
Okay.
I think
What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know if Werner's a natural striker, first of all. I think Haaland would be. I think if we get Haaland, you're going to see everyone's stats go up, and I'm talking about assist stats and big chances stats go up as well. I'm not in for all this chances, like the whole chances stats, because it'd be quite misleading in there. Because Mason Mount, who's got more chances than Bruno and KDB, but if you look at big chances, he's seventh, which is incredible in itself. That he's seventh.
Yeah, for his age, it's not that bad at all.
On a team that are not very clinical and probably the lowest goal scoring one. So I think that will go up. And I just think, Pulisic's stats will go up. I think maybe even just having a striker who can hold the ball up and just make runs for himself, and knowing that they're more. Is it something in the head? When they see Werner's free, are they hesitant to lay off the ball because they know he's not? I don't think he's naturally a natural finisher, or that he wasn't in good form. It's like, he's going to air kick it, or he's going to hit it straight to the goalkeeper, and it's a wasted chance. Where it's like Haaland, if I simply pass up to Haaland, he's just going to blast it because he doesn't care.
If you give Haaland one-on-one, 9 out of 10 times he's making it,
Yeah, well, it's not even that. It's like he'll just hit it. You've seen him where he just hits the ball sometimes.
Yeah.
It's either goes off the post or it hits off 8 people and go in, but might follow up. It'll just be better for all of them. I think Pulisic, if he stays fit, he can benefit a lot, like all of them can off of Haaland.
Yeah.
So, but
that's also why I think, like, if we don't get Haaland, even Lukaku would be an excellent option for us, because not only can Lukaku score goals, but he has incredible link-up play. The hold-up play that he brings and the link-up play is phenomenal. It's like probably one of the best in the world.
Yeah,
what do you?
Right. That's what I mean. We'll miss a striker like that. That's what this team's we've always done well with big strikers.
Yeah,
bro.
That's why it was like it was funny. It was like Werner was up there by himself. I know he played well in like 1 or 2 games, but this team's built for a brick shit house up front that just doesn't.
Yeah.
Like it says here, Costa, Drogba, and Elka, and if Haaland comes, he's like that. But I think we are done with the Pulisic. Oh no! Wait, you want to do more? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I think with our wingers, man, and our attacking players are braver than Caitlyn Jenner, man. I swear to God, bro. These guys have to play. These guys have to play with Tammy Abraham and Timo Werner on a weekly basis. So they deserve all the respect they get. I want to see what they. I've said it last season. I still have like a season for both Havertz and Werner to see what they can do. Same thing with Ziyech. Yeah. I think there are players there. I just don't think it's fair for us to ask for them to have those numbers when we don't even place them as strikers. So we'll see what's going to happen. I hope Chelsea does the right thing,
Yeah. Real quick though, Kai, I wanted to ask, because you had internet issues. I wanted to ask you: do you think that Pulisic's numbers and just our wingers in general, do you think their numbers were low partly because also like you had to play with Timo isn't really much of a hold-up striker. Not like a Giroud.
Yeah.
Like last season, Pulisic had to play with Giroud, and Giroud is hold up. Pulisic got the best out of that. I think our wingers in general just benefited from a hold-up striker. So someone like a Lukaku or a Lukaku who's a really good hold-up player. Haaland, we'll see. But you think having someone like a Haaland or Lukaku in the team over a Timo, do you think just by default, though, that will improve the stats of Pulisic when it comes to the goal scoring and the assists?
I don't know, to be honest, because Giroud wasn't like the best of finishers. Also, like he was very limited as well. But I think just the way we play doesn't really complement like smaller strikers like Werner and all these guys. But it will be interesting to see like what Haaland is capable of doing, because he's a better finisher than Werner. He also has better composure. But we'll see. I'm really interested to see how Havertz and Haaland work together. I think it's going to be one of the deadliest like partnerships in Europe if we get it like to where it should be. But it's exciting. I want to see what's going to happen. We're actually going to get to see Havertz play tomorrow, if we are lucky, you know.
I don't think he's going to play.
I think he's going to play the second half, to be honest.
Really? You think he's only just returned on Saturday?
It's possible. We'll be able to watch it, which is nice.
We got.
It's on the Fifth Stand app, right, guys?
Yeah.
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 I think it's like, isn't it like £8? Oh, it looked like Andrew just fell then.
Andrew just fell. We lost Andrew to the abyss.
You okay, Andrew?
Andrew, wink twice if you need an ambulance, bro.
It looked like. Oh.
Oh wow!
Oh, crap.
We completely lost Andrew.
Wow.
I don't know.
He's back.
He fell and he couldn't
Sorry
get
about
up.
that. I don't know what happened.
Oh, you didn't fall then. You didn't fall. Okay.
Anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Mm.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. I don't think he can hear us.
I don't think. Yeah, you can't hear us.
Okay.
What was I going to say? You threw me off there. Andrew actually threw me off then.
Oh, we're talking about the Bournemouth game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fifth Stand app and all that stuff.
Isn't it August the 1st we got our Super Cup, right?
Is it August the 1st? Because that's only like a week away.
Wait.
That's really quick.
Wait,
No, August 10th, bro.
August
August
10th. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's like still 2 weeks
Yeah,
away.
that makes more sense. I think we got to play some of our starters because like the Super
Yeah.
Cup is right around the corner.
I want them.
Sorry?
They just showed up to training, which is awesome, and that's exciting. I don't think they're going to be playing though, because they might not be ready to play yet. It might be too soon to put them in a match, so they might do more training before they decide to play them. But it's going to be exciting to actually freaking watch a game now, because we've only heard about the rumors like the Ziyech hat trick and all this stuff that's been happening behind closed doors. I want to see how they actually play. You know what I mean? It's one thing to like just score the goals and all that, but it's another thing to actually watch them play. So it'll be exciting to see that.
Yeah.
Anyway, peeps. We're gonna wrap it up. You know, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys so much. You know, for joining us today for this nice little Pulisic debate. But anyway. I want to shout out your Twitch channel.
Me? Oh yeah. Guys, if you want to check it out, I have a Twitch channel. Oh wait, we got the Will here. But anyways, if you guys want to check out the Twitch channel, it's Marshalldbdx.
Yeah.
You can find me on YouTube as well as Twitch. I'm gaming every Monday morning, Monday morning, Wednesday, Thursday morning, and Friday morning around midnight my time.
Very early morning. Yeah, very early morning.
Yeah,
7
very
a.m.
early morning. So if you're a
guys
delinquent like me and you're not going to sleep, you can check it out. If not, when you wake up, I'll be there probably. But yeah, check it out. And the band has new music. You guys have checked it out. You guys can vouch for it. You've been enjoying it. Back Pocket Alimony. Check out the music. We just released a new EP, so it's been really exciting to see some of people's reactions and how you guys have liked it. So definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think about it. It's been very supportive of you guys. Really appreciate that.
Yep. Anybody else want to shout out their channel, their stuff?
No.
Andrew?
You can find Winter Surfer everywhere.
Don't,
Yeah,
just, I'm a stream whore, so just follow me everywhere.
Yeah, Andrew's everywhere.
Yeah,
Moving about.
I'm a stream slut.
That's one way of calling it. That's one.
Anyway, people, follow our Twitter on KH No Filter Football, and I'll be your friend. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Disclaimer.
Kai.
Anyway,
That is Kai.
Yeah, that's
That is Kai. We have to emphasize that.
Yeah.
Twitter is
Kai.
Kai. It's
Kai.
not us. It is Kai.
It's Kai.
That guy up there. That guy up there.
Kai.
That is
Kai.
him. It's him.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Kai.
It's not Will.
Yeah.
It's him.
It's Kai. It's Kai. It's Kai.
Yeah.
100% Kai.
Anyway, people,
100% Kai.
take care of yourself. Eat your vitamins, and we'll see you guys on Friday. Take care, people.
Yeah, unless Haaland